it was from. We're now going to move to our next exhibitor by the name of Macharia. Macharia, tafadhali, come and take your seat. Asante you guys.
Una metameta, utakunywa nini? Wallet nimeleta, anyako, yoteke imeweza. Ukisuka chini, unatetemesa. Ate-ate-tetni, aye-aye-yengi. Ate-ate-tetni, unatetemesa. Ate-ate-tetni, aye-aye-yengi. Ate-ate-tetni.
I'll be on the phone.
This is delve back into our program, and with us this morning we've got a gentleman by the name of Macharia Ngatia from Agency 254. Makofi yake tafadhali. So Macharia, tell us who is Macharia and what does he do?
Thank you. Macharia Ngatia is a boy from Nyandarua County who went to school there and went to Nanyuki Boys, went to Karatina University. Then from Karatina University, I came to Nairobi. From Nairobi, I got into entrepreneurship, whereby I started Agency 254. And then later I started Staffrite. So currently, I am the founder of the two companies.
So, okay, so you went through school, finished, and decided, after greener pastures in Nairobi, came to Nairobi and decided to open these two companies. So what does each of the two companies do?
So Agency 254 is a tech firm. If you want a website, that's what I do for you. If you want a mobile application, I do for you. If you want digital marketing, social media management, if you want branding, that's what Agency 254 does. So purely Agency 254 is for IT.
Okay.
Then Staffrite is for recruitment, number one.
Define recruitment.
Recruitment is you have an organization and you want employees.
Yes.
But you don't know how to get these guys from. So for us, we have a database of these guys. So they sign up with us, and then we keep the database, and then whenever a company approaches us in need for employees, we provide the employees for them. That means we have to do the interviews, and finally we give the employees to the employer.
So I can see a lot of what you're talking about is technology-based. Did you study IT in high school or campus? What sent you in that particular direction?
Well, in campus I did communication and PR. That is in Karatina University. But then when I was waiting graduation, I happened to join Moringa School and I did software engineering. It was a 6-month boot camp, and from there I was able to learn programming.
So this is away, what you're doing right now is away from what you actually studied in school. However, it has actually helped you improve what you're doing.
No, I can say it's combined. What I learned in school and what I did even after school, it's combined, because I have to do marketing, I have to do PR. You know, you don't just have to go out there and do marketing. There is a proper way of doing marketing for people to invest in you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you talk about this recruitment, tell us about the recruitment process, because my youth wamesafa. Kweli ama uongo? I mean, kuna opportunities zote mingi ziko huko nje, lakini hatujuangi tutazipata wapi. Alafu ukienda kwa gazeti, sijui lazima you have to know somebody. Sometimes kuna kogana jobs hata tujui pali ziko, lakini ziko. So tell us how you market and make sure that people know about some of the job opportunities that you have on your platforms.
So the jobs we have a website, number one, whereby we post all our jobs. And then the candidates who are ahead of the technology, they're able to register with us so that we have their CVs on our database. Then some of them are also able to follow us on social media, and they are also able to see in case we post jobs on social media. Some of them are also able to join us on WhatsApp, because we usually have Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups.
Yes.
Because we're in business of providing candidates to employers. So we must have a database of these guys. So if you are in campus, it's good to register with these recruitment agencies, because after here you need a job if you're not going to entrepreneurship like I did. So the best way is to create connection, network. You hear an event. In KICC, if you go there, there are so many job fairs. You go there and get contacts of these companies, and then you'll maybe get into their database and get hired. Another mistake these guys make is they don't prioritize their CVs. I see a graduate from campus coming to apply a job with a CV that's made from a cyber. There's no way a recruiter will be able to put priority on you over someone who has a better CV, because a CV speaks more about you before if they even meet you. It's more than meet the eye. The CV is more than meet the eye. So you have to up your game. If you are here and you are looking for employment, make sure number one, your CV is good. If you're on LinkedIn, make sure your LinkedIn is good. Not if you're on LinkedIn, you have to be on LinkedIn. That's a good platform if you want to get employed. Also make sure you are other platforms, if you are looking for employment, like Facebook, Instagram, they don't really matter. But if you want to venture into entrepreneurship, they really matter, because that's where you meet your next or your tomorrow client.
Now, you've mentioned two very important things. One, you've mentioned your CV. And then two, you've also mentioned the fact that what you present and what you do on social media can have an impact of you in the future. Let's start with the second question. A lot of us on social media, and Saini Life Sherehe, we're young, we put out a lot of us guys just enjoying ourselves. Is there an impact of what you share on social media, what you put on your social media handles? Can that affect your chances of employment?
It depends with the employer, because our job is to get the right candidate,
yes.
number one, and then we shortlist. We get the best 5 for that position, then we present to the employer.
Yes.
So for us, our first priority is the CV, the second priority is LinkedIn,
okay.
The third priority now is our physical interview. Okay. We interview you, we see your, when you're interviewing someone,
so
you can
this
be
is like a pre-interview before the main interview?
No, it's the main interview.
You do the main interview also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are able to screen you and know you in person. So it doesn't necessarily mean we shall go to your Facebook or whatever. We just need to know you, your achievement, what you can bring for the company. We want to know the value you bring to this organization. And then we present you. If you make it to the final shortlist, yes. Now that's when we submit it to the client. Then the client might decide to go further and try to split the difference between the final candidates. So they decide to go further and do further research on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. For example, if you are in sales, they want to see someone who can be able to push the products even on social media. If you are Instagram, how many followers do you have? Who are these guys who are following you? Facebook, the same. X, the same. So it's wide scope that's usually involved in recruitment.
Sasa, sisi kama youth, I'm just straight out of campus. CV yangu haiwezi kuwa refu sana. What components of the CV are very important for us to include?
Free Wi-Fi from the campus, volunteer somewhere. Because free Wi-Fi from the campus, volunteer somewhere. Because employers want someone with experience. You can't come to an employer and say, I've graduated with this. So how can you help me? Because these are guys in business. They want to solve a problem in their company. That's why they're hiring you. So if you've never volunteered somewhere during your company, during your campus years, how will this employer know that you can be employable? Number one. So it's very good at your own free time or during long holidays, go out, volunteer somewhere, and then you put that as a work experience on your CV. And that's what the employer will look at, and it will set you apart from the people who never did any internship.
All right, let's do this. Let's see if we can take one question from the crowd. Give us 1 minute. Let us see if somebody can ask a question.
Yes, my name's Ashama. The question I have is, and volunteering and all that, but have you ever gone to search for a job and then you're told you need this? When you go back, you're told you need more experience. When you go back, you're told there's this part missing, and it becomes very hectic. How?
Anyone else? One more question? Yeah.
And as the talk is continually, we've been told that there are more opportunities. That we go. But like there was a talent show Sunday at Karen, but many who went didn't get a chance to participate or to showcase what their talent, and they have been anticipating for that talent show for like a while, but they went and they didn't get that chance to
is still missing, and it becomes frustrating. How do we deal with that?
Okay. What's that thing by the
frustration?
the thing that's missing? Because as you're speaking, you are aware of what is missing. So what is missing? Because you seem to know it.
You can be told experience. You can be told there's more. You have to study up to a certain point, and then after you've achieved that, there's still something else. You are told to add more experience to it, and then go further. You see, so it becomes a lot stressful.
So maybe you've been applying for the wrong jobs, because there are different jobs for every qualification. So you can't be a beginner and you want to go to apply for a HR position or a senior developer position.
So basically umetuambia kila ng'ombe akule kulingana na urefu wa kamba yake.
Yeah. There is a radar you have to go through. You start as a junior developer, you become middle level developer, become a senior developer, become a CTO. So you can't be able to, but I see this happening always. You see someone qualification, they are junior, they just joined the job, but then they're applying for a higher role that we need higher people with more qualifications, people maybe who can manage an organization, and maybe you don't qualify for that. So it's good to trust the process, climb the ladder, pole, and eventually you get to where you want.
I think another question I had that he asked in a salient way is, how do I deal with frustration? Because I've applied for a job, I've been told I don't have the experience. I've applied for another job, I've been told that my CV is not strong enough compared to others. How do I add that extra oomph onto my CV or onto my experience to make sure that I am attractive to someone like you?
Okay, the best way, this is Kenya, and we are not as per, you could compare with America. America, they are way ahead. So if you're feeling frustrated, I always advise people to brand yourself. Brand yourself according to what you're doing. You are here in campus, maybe you're in second year, third year. Identify a skill that you are good at and start building it from here. Maybe you're a photographer. Don't wait to graduate and then you start doing the photography thing. Start practicing that here. Maybe you're a developer. Start practicing programming here. Start advertising yourself. We usually say development is not the main work. The main work is just putting yourself out there. So stop hiding yourself from opportunities. If you're a developer, start doing websites for people. You can even volunteer and do a website for someone and then put it out there. And someone will see that and they ask you, by the way, do you do websites? I saw something. They contact you. And then from there, you'll be able to now have a portfolio of some people you've worked with. And that portfolio will help you very much when you go out. Like for me, when I came out of campus, I didn't have any portfolio, and I regretted a lot. I would have started earlier. But then I was lucky. I managed to get Nadia Mukami. I did her website. And that website, I claimed on it. And every client I would tell them, hey, I've done a website for Nadia Mukami. And that client would be convinced that they would give me their website. So it's just about doing something and putting it out there, and then let people see it and contact you to get your services.
Let's have one more question from Irene, and then we'll move to our next exhibitor.
Okay, my question is, personally, I'm a graduate from Maseno University. I did a bachelor's in international relations and diplomacy with IT. But since I graduated in 2019, I was trying to apply for jobs. Apart from doing makeup, I did an internship, like 2 years, actually 1 year internship from a different NGO, and then another year internship from a different NGO. And then currently I work with the Kenya Red Cross Society, but as a volunteer. So I've been trying to apply for jobs from the field of IR, but most of the jobs that I get, they do talk about you have to have masters, you have to have the experience that he was talking about, and so I was looking at it like most of the places where I try to apply jobs in, it's like you need to know someone for you to get that job. I always tend to understand where this thing of trying, like knowing someone for you to get something somewhere, how it works in this sector of employment.
Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you. So I don't think that applies when you come to Staffrite, because for us we are in business of providing the best talent so that we get repeat clients. So I can give a job to my friend, even if I know them from where, if they are not qualified. My first shortlist, if I'm the one doing the shortlist, will be the number 1 qualified person, number 2, number 3, and if you don't make it to the number 5 shortlist, then we don't shortlist you for that job. So I don't know. Okay, this is something I've been hearing from people from all over, but I don't know where it comes from. But let me tell you, from the recruitment industry, we are very fair. We always go for the merit. And then I think where we have challenges, the men. The men are the ones who are not getting jobs, because the problem they have is they don't prioritize their CV. A man will go and buy a mzinga, 2200 akunywe, but a CV could revamp. Hawezi, but madam, they just go there. Unaona me call company imemrevampia CV. Then unaona the next time anakuambia alipata job. So men is upon you now. Mjue what you want. Mzinga, madam, ama CV na kazi.
Hey, apige makofi hapo mwenyewe amesema. Hey. So our final question for you this morning is, you've talked about your platforms. Kuna watu wanatafuta internship, kuna watu wanatafuta job, and different levels of employment. What are your platforms, and how can we learn how to access them?
So my social handle is Macharia Ngatia, across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and also Google. Then for Staffrite, it's just Staffrite HR. Then for Agents 254, it's Agents 254.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a big round of applause for Macharia Ngatia. John Farmer atachezea muziki kidogo. Next we're going to move to a gentleman by the name of Fred Kioko. Fred Kioko has a company, has a group that he calls Beat Lab. We get to find out a bit more about that in a couple of minutes.
Wisdom.